And now we can see spiritually that which we could never discern before, because the natural man cannot discern the things of God. He can't see them, can't understand them. If you broke it down for him, you know what he says? I don't see that. Can't be done as far as I'm concerned. You can't do some of the things you're talking about. God can. God can do it. Then what about the supplies that he's so sufficient to give us, folks, that it can't be done? If you don't get out and work, you'll starve. Well, there's a time to work. And God says in one place, if you don't work, you don't eat. Well, I think it was Mike Gunderson told me the other day, he pulled off of the interstate, and there was a guy standing there with a big sign, sort of a smile on his face, and had that one foot sort of stuck out, he was sort of a cocky type fellow. And it said, "Why lie about it? I need a beer." I said, "Mike, what I thought." He said, I knew that's why most of them were there, but they're lying about it. No food for my children. I'm homeless. And they're standing there. Rarely would any of those be that way. If they wanted to change things, they could change it. There's jobs all over this place. There's work to be done. There's yards to be raked. There's grass to cut when it's growing. There's all kinds of things you could do, make some kind of a living. Remember that big crowd gathered together and they got hungry? They turned to Jesus. Jesus said, "Is there any food around here?" Says the little boy, "He's got a few fish and a few loaves, and that will not feed this crowd." Jesus said, "Well, bring it to me." And Jesus took some loaves, and when he'd given thanks, he distributed to the disciples, and the disciples to them that were set down, and likewise of the fishes, as much as they would. And when they were filled, he said unto his disciples, "Gather up the fragments that remain," and I don't mean crumbs, I mean the pieces here of the good fish, and the pieces of the good bread, and everything that's left over. He said, "Gather it up that remains, that nothing be lost." Now, would Jesus say, "Put it in the deep freeze, we'll get hungry again one of these days"? No, if he could take that little handful and bless it and feed the multitude, he can do it again. And he will do it again. And so, somebody said, "Wonder what he did with that food after he had it gathered up." The disciples couldn't hold that around. He told them, said, "If you follow me, don't worry about a purse, don't worry about a change of clothing, don't worry about all this, that, and just come on and follow me, and everything will be taken." So they don't need it. Where did it go? Somebody said, "I believe they gave it to that little boy who trusted me." So you don't find any comfort. When they said, "Would you give your fish and your bread to Jesus?" Evidently he said, "Yeah, what I've heard about him, he can have it." And he just gave it to the Lord Jesus. And then he gets back home. When he got back home, his mother said, "Son, what did you get?" He said, "Mama, you know that little lunch you fixed me?" "Yep." "You ever hear of a fellow named Jesus?" "I heard about him. But I ran into him today and said there was a multitude of people up there, and they came and said, 'Jesus wants your fish.' He didn't give you lunch away, did you, boy?" "I